In today's class, we are going to use the exercise ball, and our focus is a diaphragm. Diaphragm is a very important muscle. It's the main respiratory muscle. And like all muscles, your diaphragm can be tight. And so today in this class, we are going to use the exercises and a breathing to help you to restore the diaphragm muscles. And it's tight in the majority of the population at this moment. So just to remind you that a diaphragm looks like this, like a mushroom. It's located here inside of your rib cage. So your rib cage is goes over the diaphragm. In addition to the respiratory diaphragm, we have the pelvic floor diaphragm, and it's located exactly underneath of you, and it looks like this. So we have one diagram, and we have the other diaphragm. We have other additional diaphragms in our body. We can have that craniosacral diaphragm, and one goes around your throat. And of course, we have the arches of your feet. Yes, so those are the additional information. So because your diaphragm is a three-dimensional, we will be focusing on exploring the three-dimensionality of the diaphragm. So mainly on when you are inhaling, the diaphragm widens, flattens, and goes down. It pushes on your internal organs and massages them. When we exhaling, your diaphragm comes back. And in this case, this example is a little bit not right, yes, because I will be using my arms to just imagine that three-dimensionality of your diaphragm, that on inhalation widens, flattens, and goes down. And on exhalation, it comes back to that original shape. So it's massaging your internal organs, creating a space for your lungs, and then it comes back. In a way, it moves like a jellyfish. So it widens, just picture the jellyfish, and comes in. And then, yes, usually we say it's paradoxically, so how do I feel when my diaphragm goes down? It looks almost the opposite, but just give yourself that time and then inhale and then picture the diaphragm goes down, and exhale, your diaphragm goes up, and inhale, your diaphragm goes down, and exhale, your diaphragm comes up. And then while we're doing that, it looks like a linear movement, but we already know that the diaphragm is three-dimensional. So when you're inhaling, you can place your hands to the sides of your ribs. Your diaphragm also can expand in lateral sides, so inhaling into your hands. And then as you exhale, gently press on your ribs. Let the diaphragm go up and narrow. Repeat again, inhale. And use your hands, gently push down. Inhale. Your diaphragm widens, flattens, expands laterally. And exhale, your diaphragm comes back to a neutral shape. Inhale. And exhale. Now we're going to bring one hand in front of your solar plexus, and then another one to the back of your ribs, if you can. And then we inhale into the back and into the front at the same time. And exhale. And it's very hard sometimes to feel the movement of your diaphragm when you inhale and into the back. It almost feels there is no movement at all. Let's try it again. And again. Feeling how that on that inhalation, you expanding the space for your lungs. That also go on the back. This time, bring your hand around your low belly. And as you're inhaling in all directions, focus on what your internal organs feeling like. On your inhale, you feel that expansion. You're creating a space for your internal organs. And on exhalation, you slightly contract them. In a way, provided all your diaphragms aligned, we already have some abdominal exercises. The best abdominal exercise, that's your breathing. And then you can bring your hand on the wall, or you can bring your hand on the knees of you. And then we are going to bring our awareness to the pelvic floor diaphragm as well as the breathing diaphragm. So on the inhalation, the respiratory diaphragm goes down, but the pelvic floor diaphragm goes up. And you're releasing it back. And we can do that like a jellyfish movement here. Lifting up the pelvic diaphragm and widening and sinking the respiratory diaphragm. And release it back. And release it back. And then give yourself a gentle circle around your pelvis, around your sit bones. Relaxing and resting the back of your legs, your pelvis, your pubic bone, your tail, unable to change direction. Now bring your hand to your shoulder and then gently massage your shoulder while you are circling yourself on the ball. Give yourself a gentle pulling down, melting the tightness around your shoulder. And repeat it to the other shoulder. Pulling it down. Opening the side of your neck. And then we continue by opening the sides of your rib cage. And we already know that the diaphragm is three-dimensional. Expanding through the sides and release it back. Your rib cage is affected by that opening as well. And then, yes, we're creating that opening for your rib cage so the diaphragm can find a space. And then getting the movement a little bit bigger, we're going to add the arm and extension of your opposite leg. And then you can use another arm and push down into the ball. And exhale. And feels logically and naturally to inhale into that side opening and exhale, release. Inhale, stretch your leg, stretch your arm, and exhale, release. Be mobilizing also your thoracic spine because it's directly affected by your diaphragm. Lateral flexion of your thoracic spine, and we continue aiding on. So you have that expansion, and we're aiding up the rotational component, and we're bringing that back. We have an expansion on that side, and we're rotating and bringing that rotation horizontally to the floor. And come back, keep expanding the sides of your ribs. And releasing back. We're aiding up the arm will reach a little bit more down. The other arm will be placed on top, and then see if you can let your elbow slide a little bit more down and press your hands in. Let your head reach forward towards your screen. Try not to drop your head down. Keep reaching actively through the crown of your head. And extend your arms in front of you. Lift them up. And release. Inhaling and opening through the sides. Exhale, press your hands together, slide your elbow more down. And keep expanding yourself. And then inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, release. Into that sideways opening in a spiral. Sliding your elbow down. And press your hands together. And release your arms. And come all the way up. Deep inhale in. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, release. Aiding up the movement of your arm. So you're lifting your chest, you're expanding your ribs, you're spiraling and rotating. You're mobilizing your thoracic spine, and it helps your diaphragm to release and open and expand. Changing sides and rocking yourself on the ball. The ball moves forward, the ball moves back. Your arm is reaching forward as the ball moves back. And continue by bringing yourself a little bit more down on the ball. So you can be here if your hips not allowing you to go down, or if you can go a little bit more down, almost sitting down on the floor. It's like a squatting position. And as we inhale, we expanding into that ball, like you're inflating yourself. And as you're exhaling, you're pressing yourself against the ball, you're contracting. Again, inhale. Expand, feel how your ball is helping you. And exhale, press yourself back into the ball. Use the front of your body to contract. And again, inhale. And exhale. And then letting yourself roll on a ball. Just make it pleasant. You can be here, or you can go a little bit more, reaching through the legs, finding that squat. Inhale and expand. Exhale. Let that contraction help you to come back. And then spiral your pinky. Expand and reach your arm all the way above your head. And on exhale, throw it forward. Your palms rotate in, your pinky scooped in. And exhale. Throw your arm forward. Inhaling and expanding through the back of your diaphragm, through the back of your spine, through the sides of your ribs, and then returning back to the previous shape. Your diaphragm is still reaching down, also it feels like a nice stretch and expansion. Changing arm. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Resting your body over the ball. Give yourself a little bit of suspension here. Maybe you can place your head on the ball as well. And as you exhale, let that exhale bounce your back. Again, inhale. And exhale first. And bounce back. And let's see if you can use two arms. Inhale. And exhale. And if it's too much for your throat, you also can just be here. And then coming back. But sometimes it also feels good to have that extension of your thoracic spine. And bring yourself back. You continue with your back on the ball, and then find a place where you can rest your back against the ball, and then just open up your arms out to the side. And we continue rotational movement here. You're rolling on one side of the ball, you're extending your leg, you're extending your arms. And then bring yourself back on the ball. And repeat here. We want to exhale. And on inhalation, bring yourself back on the ball, widen your back. And rotate. And back. And rotate. Keep rolling yourself all the way to one side and back to center. One more time. And then sliding yourself back down. Coming on the floor. And then let your ribcage lean into the ball. The other arm can be behind your head. And then gently let your head go in opposite direction. And stay there. Inhale into the hips. And exhale. Release it back. Again, inhale, you feel how your rib cage, your diaphragm is pushing into the ball. And exhale, your ball pushing your rib cage back. And continue. And if it's too much for you, you can just be here. Just feeling how your rib cage can expand. And I'm going to bring the opposite leg in front and allow that side that was resting on a ball, lean into the ball. So you lean in your hip, you lean in your pelvis, you lean in yourself against the ball. You can hug the ball a little bit and then keep feeling that hip bone is pushed against the ball. Give yourself a little bit of rocking. And then come a little bit up higher. Pushing your pelvis, pushing your pubic bone against the ball as well. And then come a little bit higher. Here. Reaching through the back of your heel, stretch your leg back. And then rotate yourself on the ball. Extend your arms. And then give yourself a nice rotational movement here. If it's too much for your balance, you can bring the hand down to the floor. And release it back. But if you can, keep your hand up and actually can rest your shoulder. You can rest yourself against the ball and rotate. And back. You can relax your knee here a little bit. And then as you're rotating your spiral and push from the back of your heel. And back. And one more. See if you can rotate a little bit more. And then rotate your leg. And then rotate your two legs so that you are more laterally against the ball. Like this. And then give yourself that nice reach. And circle your arm. The other arm can be on the floor. And circle your arm. Nice. And let's continue on the other side. So bring your ball to the other side. And then lean your rib cage into the ball. And then release it back. Inhale, expand into the ball. And exhale, release it back. If you can, bring your hand behind your head. Expand. And release. You feel how the bottom parts of your rib cage making like accordion movement. And then coming up on your knee in a lunge. lean your hip, your pubic bone, your pelvis against the wall. And then if you can hug the ball and give yourself a little bit of rocking motion. And then bring yourself a little bit higher. Keep pushing your hip and your pubic bone. Keep leaning against the ball. Keep working with that idea of expanding through your ribs. And now, tuck your toes and bring yourself a little bit higher. In a little bit higher lunge. And then reach through the heels, stretch your leg, and rotate yourself. Find a place where you can be comfortable, either with your hand on the floor or with your hand up here. And open your arm and lean. Keep reaching through the back of your heel to stretch that leg. And then release. And I think I want to touch the floor. Maybe it gives me more stability, not so much challenge in balance wise, but it will help me to open and reach through the heel to open up your knee. And then release. Inhale. And exhale. Keep resting your shoulder against the wall. Inhale. And exhale. And now rotate yourself laterally on the ball. Keep resting the half of your pelvis, the half of your rib cage. Slide your hand down. Reach your arm over. And release. Reach over. And release. And I hope you feel that amazing opening and release, not only in your diaphragm, but the back of your legs, your glutes, your piriformis. And then open up your legs. You can flex your feet a little bit here or point them and just find a comfortable place for you. Resting over the ball. Just feel where you are. You can change the feet position. You can relax your head. You feel how gravity helps you to hug the ball and melt in the tight spots. Taking a deep inhale in, expanding, and then exhale, releasing. Expanding through the front, and as you exhale, expanding through the back. Now bring yourself a little bit higher. Hug the ball again, and then relax your cheek on the ball. Again, picture that diaphragm three-dimensionality. Feel the back of your diaphragm, the sides of your diaphragm expanding. Almost becoming the size of this ball. And then unhug yourself up from the ball. And then thank you so much for taking this class with me. I hope you like the class. I hope you will repeat this class again.